Thank you. I'm going to bring in Attiq, who's on the line. Hello, Attiq.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Attiq, you're from Luton, aren't you? And you were at the protest.
That's correct, yeah.
And what do you make of what people are saying about it being disrespectful and not the right kind of tone and that sort of thing? What was your view and how was it?
It was absolutely amazing. There's the word British values come to mind. You know, we hear these words bandied around a lot. A lot of people don't understand what it really means, but this is what British values are really about. We're a multicultural and diverse country comes together to stand for justice, to stand against discrimination, against misogynistic narratives, against hate, against the danger to world peace. It's absolutely amazing. And in contrast, the following day, you had protests by the far-right Nazi supporters of Trump. I mean, the last time the far-right ever supported a world leader must have been in times of Hitler. And now we've got them supporting Trump. And you compare the two protests. The first day protest, almost 500,000 people, no problems, no issues. Yesterday's protest, barely a few thousand, and they caused so many problems. They blocked up a bus where a woman wearing a headscarf was driving, a bus driver of London, thought they were big boys, bullying her with the disgusting narratives. And that shows the contrast. The people who support Trump fall into a bracket which is the same as these Nazis, this disgusting far right. And the people that support Corbyn and stand against Trump, you see, are those people that support diversity, multiculturalism and justice. That's the difference.
Attiq, thank you. I want to put what you've said to Ujwal, who's sitting in the studio here. Ujwal.
First of all, Attiq have right to go and protest there. But numbers are exaggerated as earlier. BBC was saying around 200,000.
Let's go back to what Attiq was saying there about the reasons for people protesting.
See, he got his own reasons, and he have right to go and protest there. I would not agree with anyone disrespecting a woman who's wearing a scarf or look different than others, actually, or making bullying or harassing anyone, actually.
Okay, so someone who looks different then. So some of what Trump's policies, which Attiq is saying there, are about discrimination,
I'm
about
racism.
I'm asking you, is that what you agree with?
I'm talking about the incident where Attiq was saying far-right protester.
Okay, but I'm asking you, well, Attiq just said some of the reasons he was there because he disagrees with what he thinks are some of Trump's policies around people of different backgrounds.
Okay.
What do you have to say to that?
Because look, first of all, policies that he is making for people that voted, in America for them, not in United Kingdom. So we should not mix our issues.
What is your view?
Because my view is I'm neutral on this one. Because he is making policy that's good for United States, not for United Kingdom. Okay, people have right, like me and Attiq and Andy or anyone else. If they wish to protest, they have right to protest peacefully. Okay, but look, I'm no one to decide for, policies for Trump, what policy he should make. Immigration is a serious problem in United States. He have right to make right policies that he been voted for.
Attiq, do you want to come back on that?
Yeah, so basically, he's only I think the best example that we can give is this. He cannot be said to be making good choices in America because he was putting babies into cages and separating them from their children and describing migrants as infestations. And the amazing thing is, I don't know who the person is in the studio with you, but I'm guessing he is of migrant heritage himself. So Trump's description of him in the studio and me would be that we are infestations. That is
okay. Attiq, let me ask you one thing. If you let me ask you something. One thing. Okay, let me ask you. Sorry to interrupt you.
Really amazing.
No. Attiq, can I interrupt you?
Hold on,
on the demo on Friday, in the morning I was interviewed by a number of media outlets and they all said, but the American people voted Trump and you see American flags there. And I said to them, all of the people I was interviewed by mainstream press, I said, watch the demo and you will see that no American will be there supporting Trump. And that's exactly what happened. Because the American people themselves are really upset with the way he's doing things because it makes them look like racists. It makes them look like people who are misogynistic and a threat to world peace because he is their representative on the international platform.
So Attiq, I'm going to let Ujwal come back on that. And Ujwal Bajwaj, former UKIP candidate for Luton South, who's with me in the studio.
My question to Attiq is, when we're taking our children to a path where we feel will be danger, okay, like suppose if I decide to carry my son on border control with carrying drugs, Don't I know the risk? Same thing apply to people when they know there is a immigration is very strict. Families will be fell apart. Okay, on their strict immigration rule. Why would you carry your children there? Why? Means is they been forced? No. No one has been forced. No. I'm saying you people have to respect the laws, isn't it? We can't just say, okay, I'm going to carry drugs there and I'm going to carry my son. If I know I'm carrying my son, that responsibility lies with me.
So then it's justified to split.
If I'm breaking laws, then I can't blame police actually.
But does that make it justified to split families up and put children into small spaces?
I'm not talking if he's right or not wrong. I'm saying when we taking as a risk, to putting our children or our family at risk, don't you think it's our responsibility?
But I'm asking you, do you think the response is justified?
If I'm carrying drugs and taking my son along with it, risk lies with me.
So is the response justified?
Response is not justified in American cases where separating families, but parents knew about the risk actually.
So then in that case, isn't it right for people to be able to protest about that if they wanted?
People have right to protest. Who's denying that part? But I'm saying people solely cannot blame one person and say, okay, when I'm breaking the laws, I know the consequences actually. So same thing is when people are going to get in United States and there is a law, they will be separated by.
Ujwal, can I ask you something? Okay, so you've talked about people taking a risk, and the risk is on their head, be it. But I wonder, and you've also said about policies are Trump's to make for that country. But the language and some of the rhetoric around it and some of those policies, I'm just wondering.
No one support him in everything.
No. Okay, but I want to ask you, as a person sitting here in front of me, of an immigrant background, of a person who has brown skin, does it not concern you at all?
Actually, see, as I said, I don't support every single policy of him. I mean, it's like everyone. Mm-hmm. We can't be following anyone. Neither I'm a blind supporter of him, actually. My point is, because the whole discussion was people's right to protest in this country or not, okay? And I think people have right to protest. But protest has gone too far. And coming back to your question, you were asking, what do I think as a Donald Trump? Now, if I would be or if I would be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, it's my responsibility to make a right decision for the country. It doesn't matter about the rest of the world.
So it doesn't concern you, the language and the rhetoric, or talking about separation, or talking about people as infestation, or whatever.
People should terms. Not. If people say about bad things, if British people, if I feel offended about something, I should not be in this country.
I'm not asking about offence. Offence is one thing. I'm asking if you would be concerned about it.
I would concern about the things he said.
The spread of ideas.
Yeah, no one is going to support what things he said. Yeah, because there are a lot of things. Not everyone is going to. I'm a father myself. I know I would not agree with a lot of things with him.
We're going to have to leave it there. I'm just going to give 30 seconds to Eric, who's on the line, to have a last say on this.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is there are reasons for people in the UK to want to protest Trump because of the way he's trying to blow up the NATO alliance or undermine it, the way he called the European Union a foe today in an interview to someone, CBS, I think. And so it's going to impact, even if we leave the EU, the idea that you're criticizing the things that have held together a Western alliance for the last 70-odd years, and he's attacking that. That's fundamentally a reason why British people have skin in the game and should care about what he does and says.
Eric, thank you. Eric McElroy, who's on the phone there, British citizen now, but obviously, as you can tell from his accent, an American stand-up comedian. And thank you also to Attiq, who's on the phone, and to Ujwal Bajwad, former UKIP candidate for Luton South, who joined me in the studio. Thank you all very much.